The one thing that often happens is, like I said, you're data rich and implementation poor. You can have all the great data you want, then what do you do with it? What does the data tell you? You know, what patterns do you see? But normally when you look at the state assessment or most other assessments, it focuses on the student performance. So we try to focus on how was it delivered? You know, did the kids just not get it because they just didn't get it, or your delivery wasn't really good? So what they did was they developed like dashboards and say, we're going to pull in attendance data. We're going to pull in discipline data. We're going to pull in the assessment data. We're going to pull in grades, 6 weeks or 9 week marking periods. Kind of look at that as a dashboard and then start saying, okay, students who failed 2 or more courses for 6 weeks, how did they perform in attendance? To see if you can start drawing some correlations. So that's a dashboard that you could feed, you know, daily with information and start thinking that, well, the student didn't perform well today, maybe because they've been out the last 2 weeks, or they had, you know, they were in ISS for 3 days, so they missed that assignment. So you can start, it's not just academics, you know, they're teenagers, they're social beings. So, and they're going through a very challenging, interesting stage. So you have to take into account the social and the emotional impact of a student when they walk into the classroom. So that dashboard was very helpful to allow you to start linking and say, well, is there a pattern here? Is there not a pattern here? And then if you see, oh, there's an attendance issue or discipline issue, then you can create non-academic interventions to address that, to see if that has an impact on the academics. That you just don't look at the numbers and say, well, because of this, I'm going to do that. You know, that goes back to that snapshot. The data-driven decision maker, I feel, is the one who has a variety of sources of information and then can make decisions based upon that, not just little snapshots here and there. It's more effective that way, because it goes back to, you know, one day could have a bad day or a good day, and one test or one type of assessment, there's no one assessment that I think accurately can measure how a student performs in a specific subject. I think sometimes the data gets overwhelming. It's too much. And it goes back to people thinking, well, I'm going to, you know, oh, here's my little nugget. It's going to affect this. I think that there's that myth of data. Oh, I'm just going to, you know, well, if I get 43%, I'm going to go this way. If I get 48%, I'm going to go that way. And it's not like that. It's, do you notice patterns? Do you see certain things? And you develop interventions based upon that.